What is going on, guys? Bengal King here, coming back at you with another video, and today we are doing another rebuild. This is the realistic rebuild of the Green Bay Packers. Now, if you have not seen the fantasy style version, I would recommend checking that out. And a thing that I learned from doing that is that Aaron Rodgers regresses extremely quickly. So, even though we won't be able to trade Aaron Rodgers away based on the parameters of the realistic rebuild, we should look to get his replacement as soon as possible. This is a pretty good team. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks ever, but for the sake of Madden and the way that Madden works, we're not going to be successful rocking with a 74 overall quarterback in 2 seasons. We're just not going to be. So we have to work on getting his replacement ASAP. If you guys are new here, I would appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. Of course, like the video or do whatever that is. Use code BENGAL on SeatGeek to save yourself $20 when you buy tickets for anything. You're going to go to the game, the concert, whatever anyway. Might as well save yourself some money. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter.com/BengalDesigns, Instagram.com/BengalYouTube. All links are in the description. Second channel as well, although I am inconsistent at best on that at the moment. Of course, you can get, past the comments of Packers don't need a rebuild, blah, blah, blah. It's a video. Relax. Packers are 10-3. They've had a very good season with Aaron Rodgers at the helm, and he might even be a higher overall than when we used the Packers last time at a 90. So maybe we will be able to rock out with him for a few seasons before looking for a replacement. But it's a pretty good team overall. When you look at some of the stars, David Bakhtiari, one of the best left tackles in football, if not the best. Superstar development is fantastic for him. Brian Bulaga, not as old as he looks. He's only 30. It does feel like he's been around forever, though. Still a very good tackle. Probably don't need to move on from him. Corey Linsley's fine. Elgin Jenkins has been an awesome rookie for them. Such a versatile player at Mississippi State. Played all 5 positions for the Bulldogs across the offensive line in his time there. Lane Taylor is probably the one position that we really need to upgrade. Wide receiver, Devontae Adams is great. The rest, not so good. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Geronimo Allison, Jake Kumaro, Alan Lazard, Ryan Grant. These are not great options. Danny Vitale at fullback. Aaron Jones is a beast. Jamal Williams is a really good complementary running back behind him. Offense looks pretty good, but receiver, tight end, even with Jimmy Graham, really needs to be upgraded. On the defensive side of the ball, really needs some linebacker help. Blake Martinez is super overrated because he gets a lot of tackles, but he's not really good at anything other than tackling. Doesn't particularly stop the run well, and certainly cannot cover. BJ Goodson is much of the same. Preston Smith is good. That was a good free agent addition. Zadarius Smith is a good player. And we're going to move Rashawn Gary to where I think he should be playing, which is on the defensive line. He is not an edge rusher, in my opinion. He is not an off-the-ball player in any capacity, clearly. I think his best fit is as a 3-4 defensive end, where he can really use that unbelievable speed and power to be a dominant player, especially next to Kenny Clark. I think that's a match made in heaven. Got Kingsley Keke in there as well. He's a rookie. Montravius Adams, Dean Lowry. Kyler Fackrell's overrated just because he had a lot of sacks like a season ago or so. Even when that's more, can be attributed to Kenny Clark and the rest of the defense, more so than just Kyler Fackrell. Yeah, that 10-sack season, that just shows how overrated sacks are. Pressures matter more than anything, and sacks are just a product of who else is around you a lot of the time. But, yeah, great defensive line, and the secondary is good too. I know Jair Alexander has been getting burned a little bit recently. There's no reason to worry. He's a very young player, and he's been fantastic as a whole. Kevin King's terrible. Tramon Williams, terrible. Josh Jackson doesn't offer a whole lot. Darnell Savage, I think, has played pretty well as a rookie. Adrian Amos is a very good player as well. So, we have a lot of pieces to build around. We're in week 15. Not much is going to happen in this first season, so we may as well just simulate to the playoffs, which we have to make. Now, is our record going to be all that good? We might lose out because that's just what happens when you take over a team and simulate. Or we could be fantastic. You never know. We finished 12-3-1, so we did quite well to end the season. No losses. Gotta love that. First round bye. We're not going to worry about the stats for season 1 since we didn't, have anything to do with this team. But we face the Saints in the divisional. We'll see if we are capable of beating them. I'm going to spend some Coach XP quickly, upgrade the team, although they should pretty much be upgraded for the most part. Defensive line is what I'm worried about. Really thinking about Rashawn Gary with that one. Shouldn't really be any players to upgrade, just Jair and Blake. So 2 good players, or 2 starters, I should say. Alexander, certainly a good player. But can we beat the Saints? Yes. by a touchdown, 31-24. Marquez Valdez-Scantling has a breakout development challenge that he certainly will not complete. What does he need? 2 touchdowns or 100-plus receiving yards? I just don't think any of that's going to happen. We'll see. Again, I really, really doubt it. The 49ers in the conference championship, and we lose 31-15. There's no way he got 2 touchdowns or 100-plus yards. Maybe you don't think I'm talented enough to be a number 1. That's correct. You're extremely accurate in that guess there, Marquez. I do not think you can be a number 1 receiver, especially considering Devontae Adams is here. You will never be more than a number 2, guaranteed, with this Packers team as long as I'm running it. Brian Bulaga is an impending free agent, someone I would want to bring back for sure. Mercedes Lewis, don't care. Mason Crosby, don't care. Kyler Fackrell, Geronimo Allison, Ryan Grant, Jared Veldier, certainly not. Blake Martinez, no, I don't care. We're letting everybody go except for Brian Bulaga. He is 31, and he's actually pretty expensive, just at like 10 mil. We don't have a ton of money, but Bulaga returns. He's a good player. Tackle is a tough position to replace, and we'll sign him to a long-term deal. And he should be a good player for us for a while. Have a little bit of money in free agency, but not too much. I think I want to hold on to that rather than spend it. Although Justin Simmons could be a great addition. We just don't need him. Rarely see him in free agency. Matt Judon is a cool player as well. Just a little bit too old in Madden. I know 28 is crazy to call a player who's 28 too old, but he is in Madden because they regress at 28. Of course, going to load in the 2020 NFL draft file because it is a realistic rebuild. That's the big difference between realistic and fantasy style, is that we are using a 2020 NFL draft class file, but that's pretty much the biggest difference at all. They pretty much go similarly. The realistic rebuilds are a little bit less ridiculous than some of the trades I make in the fantasy style ones. NFL draft time, we pick at number 30. Probably just going to simulate straight there. I don't really want to move up the board at all this year. We'll see who falls to us. Hopefully a good receiver, and they usually do. So we might have our pick, like if Laviska Shenault is still on the board. Henry Ruggs, who's usually here. T. Higgins is usually here. Jalen Reagor, I think, would be a really good pickup. J.K. Dobbins is interesting. Tyler Biadasz is interesting. Although I can't really get behind taking centers in the first round. It's just like the same receivers last the same time, or like every time. I know I just said time a lot, and that kind of like screwed up my train of thought. But the class just works out so weird sometimes with who stays on the board and who doesn't. Albert Okwe-Ibenam would be a good addition at tight end. And I think it's so tough not to take Henry Ruggs when he's here. Just because I know he's going to be so good. T. Higgins, same deal. I do want to mix it up, though. We're going to go with a tight end. This is going to be our guy over Jimmy Graham. Albert Okwe-Ibenam. Number 17 in the class. We took him at number 30. He's got better development at 76 overall. Good speed, okay route running and catching. I think Albert Okwe-Ibenam is a really, really good player. I know there are some guys that don't think he's so good, and there are a lot of tight ends who are better than him in this class, but it's my personal opinion. I'm going to keep him up near the top and a pretty good overall for the time being. Now, to the end of the second round, as Xavier McKinney goes. Good player there. And now I think we're going to take Jalen Reagor. Got great speed. Now we have a very, very good combo. Number 47 in the draft. We took him at 62. 73 overall. Hidden development. Amazing speed at 97. Good deep route running. Going to be a very good deep threat for us. He is a beast. Jalen Reagor. Albert Okwe-Ibenam. Wide receiver and tight end rookies could go off this year. Let's bring in a teammate of Elgton Jenkins, Darrell Williams out of Mississippi State. He's a 70 overall, could play guard. We could start him over Lane Taylor. Now, he has played some guard, a lot of guard, actually. So Darrell Williams certainly could slide over there if we wanted him to. 84 overall, ranked number 94, or 84 overall in the class. We took him at 94. It's a decent pick there. And again, he's a guy that I think could start right away. KJ Hamler's here. Why not take another receiver? He's a 69 overall, number 111 in the class. We took him at 126. Only normal development, but a lot of speed there as well. Kind of like a downgraded version of Jalen Reagor. But that's going to do it for this first-year draft. Let's go ahead and start season number 2. We still need to upgrade cornerback. Rashawn Gary has star development. Preston Smith is up to star development. We have nothing at inside linebacker. It is so, so weak. Summers, and Oren Burks. So bad. That's a position we'll look to improve here in the future. Darrell Williams has moved over to right guard, where he's a 71 overall. Albert Oku-Ibenam is going to start at tight end. Jalen Reagor is going to be our number 2 receiver and also operate out of the slot. KJ Hamler is behind him. Equinemius St. Brown behind the two of them. Justin Jackson, or I say Justin earlier? I meant Josh. If I said Justin, that's my mistake. He's Josh Jackson, the Iowa cornerback. There's so many there's J.C. Jackson on the Patriots. There's Justin Jackson. There's Josh Jackson. A lot of J. Jackson. So if I said Justin earlier and you're like, oh, Justin. I know his name is Josh. I made a mistake. Shut up. Rashawn Gary is going to be rush D tackle too. So he'll be playing a lot more. And I think Season 2 could go very, very well for us. It's a decent team. It's unexceptional. The defense is really what's going to hold us back. But hopefully Aaron Rodgers and the offense can bring us some great success. So let's go ahead and simulate to the midseason mark. And I will see you guys there. Do a little bit of contract negotiations. A little bit of checking in, a little bit of upgrading, see where we are. I'm excited. David Bakhtiari is a free agent. We're only 3-4. Second in the NFC North. Not a great record. A little bit surprising. Giorgio Tavecchio's here. David Bakhtiari needs to come back. Kenny Clark needs to come back. Aaron Jones needs to come back. Corey Linsley, I'm good to let walk. 29-year-old center, only a 78 overall. Kevin King can go. Jimmy Graham can go. Jamal Williams, I do want to return, though. He's a good backup running back to have. He's pretty cheap. And hopefully he just resigns for that. He needs a higher salary. I mean, maybe. I'll consider it. Kenny Clark and David Bakhtiari, I'll give you whatever you want. You're two of the best players in the league at your position. I will give you even more money to make sure that you sign. Kenny Clark does. David Bakhtiari is going to be real expensive. Pretty much in the same boat, actually, but expensive nonetheless. And David Bakhtiari's back. It needed to happen. Aaron Jones is cheap because all running backs are cheap. Just how that works. He doesn't have a face scan, and whatever that created player thing is frightening. I will see it in my nightmares. That is for sure. We did not make the playoffs. 7-9, fourth in the NFC North. Albert Oku-Ibenam has superstar development, or higher, I suppose. And he has superstar development. Aaron Rodgers is still sticking about an 89 overall. A lot of Williams going on in our backfield. Jamal Williams, Damian Williams. That's Darrell. And is it Damian? Dexter. Oh, yeah, the former Notre Dame running back that can't catch anything. Forgot about him. Forgot he was a player. Jalen Reagor's up to an 81 overall. He has star development. And then defensively, there will be no development changes because we are not to Super Bowl week yet. But we will take a look at the stats before getting there. See how this team only won 7 games. Aaron Rodgers was good. Our offense was really good. So it's only on the defense, I would assume. No, we were 6th in terms of yards. So it's gonna be points scored and allowed. Pretty much average in terms of points scored, and then points allowed, we were not very good. Weird. So we got the yards, just couldn't keep teams out of the end zone, couldn't hold them to field goals, and couldn't capitalize with touchdowns most of the time. Jalen Reagor was awesome. What a year. This is really a pass-heavy offense, huh? Defensively, Oren Burks had a good season just because he started at middle linebacker. A lot of tackles for loss for a lot of different players. 10.5 sacks for Preston Smith. Interceptions, not that many, but also not too few. So a weird kind of combo there. Yearly awards, Tom Brady at number 1. No Aaron Rodgers anywhere in that conversation is strange. NFC Offensive Player of the Year is Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers at 6. Defensive Player of the Year, Fred Warner. No Packers. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jake Fromm. Jalen Reagor at 3. Albert Oku-Ibenam at 7, and then Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Isaiah Simmons of the Detroit Lions. So here's the thing with Jamal Williams. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's a backup running back, and sure, I want him, but it's just such a replaceable position, and we can get one of his exact quality for cheaper, and when you start handing out big contracts, which is what we're going to have to do, either through free agency or with retaining our own players, you can't afford to hand out stupid contracts. Marshawn Lattimore's here. Now, this would not be a stupid contract at all. This is one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL. Someone that I would definitely like to bring in. I don't think we're going to be able to. We're not going to have the salary cap to give him a big contract, which means we could try and clear some. This is a player that would really help out our secondary, which is weak. What is the most amount of money I can offer him? See, of course, it says our cap room, we can definitely handle it, but we can't because of the rookie reserve for draft picks. So we're in a tough spot. Can we offer him a contract? 72 points is the most we can offer, and we're not going to win. We're not going to win with only 72 points when other teams have made offers. So we have two options. Either one, don't get him, or two, try to clear some space to get a really good player that's going to help us out. All right, so I offered Marshawn Lattimore. I don't know why I said Lattimore real oddly. Offered Marshawn Lattimore a big contract, and I think he's worth it. Hopefully he signs, man. I cleared up some cap space by cutting players it really didn't matter, and Marshawn Lattimore accepts. It is a huge addition to our team, a huge addition to our secondary. We don't need Kevin King. Kevin King's gone. Aaron Rodgers is regressing, but Lattimore is such a big addition. Josh Jackson, Marshawn Lattimore, Jair Alexander, it's a good combo. We still don't have a ton of money. We're in such a tough spot in that situation. We need help on the inside at inside linebacker badly, and then we let Corey Linsley walk, so we need a center replacement. But other than that, like, receiver's still pretty good. Aaron Rodgers is really weighing down a lot of our potential money. So I think we do need to draft a quarterback to replace him at some point. Definitely going to pick up Jair Alexander's fifth-year option. But man, we're in a tough position for money, as a lot of these are. When you jump into these really good teams, they have really good players, which means they're going to command a lot of money. And it is our job in a rebuild to manage that money with making smart decisions while still improving the team. We pick at number 12 overall. I wouldn't be afraid to move up or down the board depending on who's there. Again, I think we need a quarterback really badly. Maybe Richard Dressler could be that guy. Maybe it's Tyler Banks. Who knows? Okay, so when you think about the teams that are ahead of us that could take a quarterback, Madden is stupid. So even though the Jets have Sam Darnold, they could take one. The Jaguars could certainly take one. I don't really want to trade up that far. So if the Jets take the quarterback, whatever. There goes a really good cornerback. Jets go with a receiver. Now, the rest of these teams shouldn't take a QB. They still might. There's an 80 overall left end at a Houston, Kyrie Howell. I could potentially trade up to number 7 to get our QB of the future. I would be interested, depending on the price. Who has it? The Jaguars? We'll see what they need. I don't really have players that I can trade. It would have to be picks. I don't know. Okay, very interesting trade here. This is on like the more unrealistic side just because of players involved, but you do see players traded all the time. Talked about Odell Beckham Jr. in the Cowboys one. Like, trades happen. Even though it might be on the unrealistic side, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Josh Jackson is on his way out. We're picking up number 7 overall and their first rounder next year. In order to do that, we're trading number 12 this year and a 3rd this year. So we are giving up some good value for sure, but we could get some really good value in return depending on how good this quarterback is, because that is who I'm drafting. This is going to be the quarterback of the future. Richard Dressler out of Notre Dame, back up to Aaron Rodgers for now, is a 76 overall, ranked number 7 in the class. We took him at number 7. He's got star or better development, decent enough throw power, good accuracy in general. He looks like an Aaron Rodgers prototype. So Aaron Rodgers, like, you know, you think of him as having a really, really good arm, and he does, but you look at him now, I bet his throw power is about a 91, somewhere in that range, maybe even less. It's 94. Oh, okay. Well, our quarterback could potentially develop into that. I know Aaron Rodgers has a great arm. I just thought he was rated worse in Madden. They may have upgraded him since the last time we did this, but we pick here in the 2nd round. Hopefully there's some good value available. There's a quarterback who he was okay. And now we have some options. We really do. The best player here is Darrell Grant out of Georgia. Doesn't fit our needs as much as maybe the guard does, but I think he's a better player, and for that reason, I'm going to take him. Darrell Grant is a 76 overall, ranked number 11 in the class. We took him at 44, star, better development. That was definitely the right move. Not really a great pass rusher, but has really, really good speed for someone that doesn't rush the passer all that well. 80 speed, 83 block shed, 93 strength. He's going to be a sick 3-4 defensive end. We had to cut Dean Lowry because we needed to free up some money to sign Marshawn Lattimore. That's an excellent consolation prize. He's only 1 overall less, has a better development trait, and is much younger. That is an awesome pick. Trading a 4, a 5, and a 6 for a 3rd from the Giants next year. Those picks this year are valueless. Every good player is off the board, and I would rather have it next year for either the freedom to trade down, get more picks, higher picks, more valuable picks, or just take a player if there's a good one available. So hopefully they are terrible, and that's a really good pick for us. This is the team for the third season. Pretty good. Billy Turner still starting at right guard for us is a problem, but he's also someone that we can't get rid of because the Packers paid him in real life, and his contract is terrible. Can't do anything about it right now. Just kind of have to eat it at some point maybe. Dressler is going to be a backup quarterback to Aaron Rodgers for this first season. Aaron Rodgers still an 86 overall. Not too bad. Superstar X Factor. Grant's going to start at left end. He will also be our rush D tackle 2. Still don't really know what we're going to do with Rashawn Gary. I still think a 3-4 is the best, but when you have two outside like edge rushers in Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary is not going to play on the edge. He's also not going to be a rushy tackle until we know what we have with Grant. They're so close in overall. Grant could have a great development trait, so I'm not going to start Rashawn Gary in that role. What we're going to do is consider moving to a 4-3 at some point. We don't have the personnel for it right now, which means that it's not possible. I think 3-4 is where we fit in best. We just need to improve at linebacker. But we need there to be good linebackers in order to do that. We can't just, we'll just take linebackers. There aren't any good ones in the draft a lot of the time, so that's kind of screwy. We need to hopefully hit a decent one in free agency and then a decent one in the draft, and then we'll be fine. We're going to simulate to the midseason mark, still without any inside linebackers, really, and hopefully the team doesn't suck. We're 4-3-1. That's not terrible. Not terrible. Devontae Adams is an impending free agent. That is terrible. That is no good. That's going to be an expensive guy. J.K. Scott, definitely want to bring back. Marquez Valdez-Scantling can leave. But Devontae Adams has to return. Oh, we don't have money. Will you just accept that, please? Needs higher salary. Oh, we're so screwed. I gotta cut Billy Turner. We're going to worry about that in the offseason. We made the playoffs at 8-7-1. We won the division. That is so peculiar. Our offense was great with Aaron Rodgers at QB. It's just our defense. No, we're still so good in limiting yards. So what's the issue? 19th in points scored. How are we not finishing the deal? 7th in points allowed. So our offense was the reason? I mean, those numbers look good. That we ranked really highly. Great year for Reagor and Devontae Adams again. 6 touchdowns for Jay Sternberger. Are you serious? Okay. Defensively, Oren Burks, again, led the team in tackles. 16 tackles for loss for Kenny Clark. Also had 6.5 sacks. 11 sacks for Zadarius Smith. 7.5 for Preston. Interceptions, 5 for Marshawn Lattimore in his first year as a Packer. That is very encouraging to see. So I'm so confused. I guess we did real well, but not well enough somehow. We made the playoffs, so I'm not really complaining that much. Aaron Rodgers, number 10 for MVP. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, Aaron Rodgers at number 4. Defensive Player of the Year, Isaiah Simmons. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Marquise Price. Richard Dressler, the backup QB, at number 4. He's up to an 80. I'll take that. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Darrell Grant at 4. No other Packers. I'm interested to see these development traits. We might not be able to tell what the quarterback has just yet, but then again, we might be able to. We'll see if it's going to show. And it does not. But he's up to an 80, and he's not even playing. That is encouraging. That is encouraging. Why would Darrell Williams not be playing? Oh, yeah. Where's Elgin Jenkins? What is happening? Jenkins is going to be moved to center. I don't know what the CPU did. I didn't notice that, if that was that way at the start of the season. Jenkins is going to move back to a starter. He'll play center. That's fine. Darrell Williams, I guess, is going to play left guard. Billy Turner, I guess I maybe moved him to the wrong position. Maybe my bad. Defensively, Grant only has star. It's not bad. It's just not, as great as you want it to be. Our middle linebackers are getting better, although it's still a position we need to replace very, very badly. And we'll see if we can beat the Seahawks in simulation here in the wild card. We're a really good team, but it was not to be. We lose by 10, 24-14, and we will jump to another offseason where I have to figure out how to get money to bring back Devontae Adams. Worst comes to worst, we'll franchise tag him. The penalty for releasing Billy Turner is a whole lot less now, so I'm going to do it. It's $2.25 million, but he is gone. Now we should have the freedom for sure to bring back Devontae Adams. Cut a lot of players there. Not really impactful players at all. But Devontae Adams has to come back. Like, there's no real way around that. We definitely have the money now. What does he want? Higher salary? Yeah, so we can just move that salary up. It should keep the same contract. Although I'm not sure that it did. We'll bump up the bonus. And he's going to test our free agency. Well, you're not, because I will be franchise tagging you. It's 17.8. So here's what we're going to do. Warren Burks is up to star development. Okay. So we're going to extend J.K. Scott. If he wants to accept that, he can. J.K. Scott returns. Oren Burks is someone that should be really cheap to bring back. Let's extend that money. Space it out. He's going to test free agency. Okay, whatever. And we're going to franchise tag Devontae Adams. Now, this is going to put us in a bad position for this year for cap. So we're not going to be able to sign anybody in free agency. We're not going to be able to do that. But we will be able to have a decent draft. And, yeah, we're negative Devontae Adams. That's what the cap is. Negative Devontae Adams. Because of that franchise tag. We had to keep him. Had to. We'll figure it out next year. We pick a number 7 overall. I do want to see what we have in our quarterback. So what is Aaron Rodgers down to, and what is our quarterback? Aaron Rodgers is down to an 82. And Dressler, while he only has star development, is an 80. I think that's the right decision. Starting Dressler over Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers. Maybe my favorite QB ever. But there's no progression here. It is only regression. He is so much worse. And while his ratings are not terrible by any means at all, not terrible at all, I think we have to play towards the future. And while that's a tough decision to make, I think it's the right one to make. So Melvin Michaels out of North Carolina, UNC, ran a 4.24. The former record held by Chris Johnson. Yeah, he can fly. People love when I say that. But yeah, he looks pretty good. So we're not going to have a shot at that cornerback. I guarantee he goes. There he goes. 80 overall. Yeah, he's pretty good. Pretty good player. Wonder what his speed is. That's going to be interesting to find out. Interesting to see. We'll instead take Jacques Denard. Jaquez. Probably Jaquez. It's not an S to end like it'd be Jacques. It's probably Jaquez Denard. Maybe a relative of, I don't know, Darquez Denard? Former, I want to say Michigan State. And then, of course, Bengals corner. Now, he's pretty good. Jaquez Denard is a 77 overall. Number 5 in the class. Star or better development. 94 speed, 78 zone coverage. Not really a man guy at all, but he's a great third corner option for us as we simulate to number 21. Sometimes you got to go best player available, and I hope this linebacker's still available. Wasn't supposed to go until the second round. Tell me he's still here. Lindsey Griffith out of Oklahoma State. Looks to be pretty solid, and he is. Number 13 in the class, we take him at 21, 75 overall. Hidden development, 83 speed, good tackle, good play rec, good block shed. Coverage isn't amazing, but good strength. Definitely a huge improvement at middle linebacker for us as we move on into round number 2. Another good cornerback here, Shamel Killings out of Washington State. Good depth pickup for us. He is a 71 overall, only normal development, ranked number 27 in the class. We take him at 53. Am I saying that fast enough for you? Keep up. Not that fast, but coverage pretty well balanced. That could be a slot cornerback for us if we wanted him to be. Take Derek Parsons here, a center out of UCF. We need offensive line help. Now that's interesting. He's only a 67 overall, but he does have star better development. It'll be star. It won't be better than star. Not very strong, but I mean, we have something there just because of the development trait, maybe. Better than Billy Turner because of that, I'll tell you that much. And I might as well take this guy now. I could trade down. Who cares? Trent Sims out of Toledo. The new Toledo Torpedo. 69 overall. Nice. Number 44 in the class. We took him at 85. 80 speed, 83 tackle. Again, he'll be good enough to start. Maybe he'll even win Rookie of the Year. That's going to do it for this draft. Pretty good draft class for us. Bunch of really good players, impact playmakers, good development traits. So we're in a pretty good spot. Melvin Michaels has 97 speed. 80 man, 72 zone. He looks like a monster. Now, if his development trait is star, I'm going to be disappointed because that brings his level down a lot. It's only star. Ugh. The best players never have the best development trait. There are never any like generational talents that come through. Aaron Rodgers has 2 years left. We're going to start him for his final season with us here. Now, does that mean we'll cut him next season? Probably not. But we'll start him just one more season over Dressler because we are trying to win a championship. So that is what's going to happen. Parsons going to start at left guard. Not particularly good, but we got maybe something there. Sims is going to play over Summers. He's a rookie. More potential there. Griffith could be a beast at middle linebacker. I think Denard is going to be a monster. Special teams, we have no kicker still, but that's fine. And then specialist, Denard's going to play in the slot. Griffith, sub linebacker. Sean Gary going after it. Yeah, this is a good team. We definitely have something here. 3-4 at the midseason mark. Not where we want to be. Hopefully Rashawn Gary can go up to superstar development, which he won't, because we have to hold the Cardinals to less than 75 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Or Rashawn Gary needs to have a pretty big game, which won't happen in simulation. So I hate to be a negative Nancy, but these are just the facts. We're 3-4. We're not playing all that well. Now, the Cardinals are bad. Our offense is bad. Aaron Rodgers leads the NFL in touchdowns, but is 19th in yards. I don't know what's happening. Maybe we'll do well. I don't know. We're going to have to bring back Devontae Parker. I'll upgrade some of these rookies. Jaquez Denard almost has no skill points, so I'm kind of worried that maybe his development is lower. Although you never know. Sometimes star development players progress really quickly. Parsons has star. And then defensively, moment of truth. He only has star. Denard, I mean. And then Griffith only has star. Give me a superstar X Factor one time, will you? Oh, Jair Alexander's here. Oh no, there are a lot of free agents who matter a lot. Well, these two are paramount. The rest I would like back, but I don't know. Zadarius Smith, maybe not. Like, he's a good player, but let's think of it. If we move to a 4-3, what would that look like? Preston Smith on the outside. He's also a free agent. I would prefer Zadarius Smith. So Preston Smith could walk. So we have Zadarius Smith. Rashawn Gary, I guess it could play the edge. We'd need a D-tackle. I don't know that we can keep both of them. That's the thing. We'll figure it out. What do we have? 57.2? That's not enough. So we brought back Jair, and that was it. Devontae Adams wants a higher salary. I still don't know how I feel about Adrian Amos, Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith. I feel like with that corner we drafted, he could move back to safety, and we could let Adrian Amos walk. These guys are all 29. Elgton Jenkins wants a higher salary. So we've got some really tough decisions to make, but they need to be made. We won 35-21. They scored too many points to not have at least 75 rushing yards probably. Yeah, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. All right, Elgton Jenkins is back, and so is Devontae Adams. Again, these three guys are just... I don't really know what to do about them just yet. Because when you look at the team without them, it is a worse team for sure. And what are we saving the money for? But we need to, for some of these other contracts that are coming up. Kenny Clark, it's tough. I think, what happens if we let Rashawn Gary... I like our 3-4 defense. Maybe we bring them both back, and then Adrian Amos can go. Denard is an 80 overall, strong safety. I don't know. It depends how expensive Preston Smith is. If he wants like close to 10 mil, I just won't be able to do it. Preston Smith wants close to 10 mil. I'm going to talk to Zadarius Smith first, who wants more, but he's a better player. So I'd be willing to offer him more. And Zadarius Smith re-signs. Maybe Adrian Amos is the odd man out. What do you want? 8.2? I feel like I would rather have him than Preston Smith. So I would offer him a contract and then look for edge in the draft. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Adrian Amos resigns. These are tough decisions, but maybe we could sneak in Preston Smith. I don't know. I don't know if we can. I will simulate to the end of this season and see if this is a playoff team. Win 8-8 and win the playoffs. Is that a division win again at 8 wins? That's crazy to me. That's crazy. I mean, our offense was pretty good. I don't know what the deal is, though. Aaron Rodgers had a great season. Rushing, Aaron Jones on paper had a great season. Receiving, Devontae Adams was awesome. Jalen Reagor was awesome. Are we missing like a third good receiver? Because KJ Hamler really isn't all that. Lindsey Griffith, I hope this is Defensive Rookie of the Year. 124 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, and a pick. I would hope that's Defensive Rookie of the Year. Might not be. Darrell Grant with a great season. Hats off to him. 12 sacks for Kenny Clark. 11.5 for Rashawn Gary, who was awesome. 3 picks for Jair Alexander. Forced fumbles, not a whole lot, only 2 for the team. And at least 1 defensive touchdown. It's Jair Alexander. Checking out yearly awards. I expect to be in here somewhere. Matt Ryan wins MVP. Packers Aaron Rodgers at 6. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, Matt Ryan. Aaron Rodgers at 3. Defensive Player of the Year, Kaiser White. Are you okay? Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Madison Rogers. No Packers. Defensive Rookie of the Year, it is Lindsey Griffith. I expected it. I'm happy it happened. Jaquez Denard at 5. Trent Sims at 7. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and simulate versus the Eagles here. They went 9-7, and they beat us in the playoffs, 21-14. There's something about these playbooks that it's close, but it isn't quite there. I don't know if I want to change offense or defense or both or none, but winning 8 game stuff is getting frustrating. I think I'm going to change to Giants defense. That's usually a pretty good defense for 3-4. Aaron Rodgers is down to a 75. Devontae Adams is up to Superstar X Factor, though, as he's got double me. Here's what we should do. It's a tough decision. Brian Bulaga retired. We have to cut Aaron Rodgers. I know it's crazy because best quarterback in Packers history. I don't care about Brett Favre. I think Aaron Rodgers is, at this point, all-time was better. It's a penalty of only $500K. It frees up $25 million. It has to be done. Has to be done. Dressler is the future now. We need a right tackle. Defensively, any development increases? Doesn't look like it. Preston Smith down to an 81. Zadarius Smith down to an 83. It is what it is, man. Adrian Amos down to an 83. This is our 1 year window. Preston Smith is going to walk. We don't need him. We don't need him anymore. Chase Sternberger. He's a good backup tight end to have. How expensive is he going to be? Not really that expensive. We can definitely bring him back, and he's going to test free agency. Okay, not going to franchise tag him. There's no reason to. We could get him in free agency if we really wanted, but let's go out and get a big edge rusher. If Von Miller is in free agency, if Khalil Mack is in free agency, I would consider going after one of those guys. They are not. Bobby Wagner is, though. He's 33, but we're in a win-now mode where I would not mind giving Bobby Wagner a contract. His eyes look so bloodshot, but that's my offer to Bobby Wagner. Preston Smith is in there. Kaiser White is in here, who won Defensive Player of the Year. I wonder if he would come with any XP. Probably would. We can't see it because we don't have him. That's another thing that annoys me. He's not even that expensive, and he would easily be able to play middle linebacker or help us transition to a 4-3 if we wanted to do that. Now that we have a hole at that spot, as we're going to offer him significantly less money. Now that we have a hole at that spot with no Preston Smith, we could transition to a 4-3 very, very easily. That's my offer to Kaiser White. That's the only player I'm really going to go after. Well, hold on. Was Trent Williams in there? That's another good one-year option. Trent Williams is there. If this is going to be the final season, we may as well offer Trent Williams some big money and hopefully bring him in. And we got to go up against the Bucs head-to-head. They got a lot of money. We don't have as much money, but we should be able to offer him a bigger contract. 106 total points might be enough to seal the deal. It also might not. I'm going to leave it as is, and we'll see who we sign, if anybody. Bobby Wagner and Kaiser White. Trent Williams rejects. I kind of forgot we offered Bobby Wagner, to be fair. But that's a good addition. Superstar X Factor, middle linebacker. We need a right tackle, or really any offensive lineman. Could use help at receiver. And then defensively, we need edge. And if we were to move to a 4-3, Rashawn Gary, edge, Kenny Clark, Grant could work defensive tackle very well. 6'5", 312. He's a monster. Pass rushing hasn't really developed that much. Zadarius Smith obviously would slide down as well. Then we have Bobby Wagner, Griffith at outside linebacker. And then we just take... Ooh, we have 4-3 personnel right now. Yeah, we're going to change for sure. Grant is up to an 85 overall at defensive tackle, by the way, which is always cool. It's always cool to see those overalls go up. And when you talk about 3-4 defensive ends, they almost always go up when you move them to defensive tackle. It's always nice to see. Darius Smith might not change at all, though. He maybe even went down to an 82. But Kaiser White at left outside linebacker, Griffith at right outside linebacker, we're going to be in a fantastic spot. He might even go up too to like an 82 overall or something like that, which would also be cool to see. I think overall this change is going to be better for us. 4-3 defenses tend to be better in simulation. That's one thing. He goes up to an 82. Kaiser White, let me just make sure he's left outside. Yeah. This is a great team now. Defense is awesome. 3 good cornerbacks, 2 good safeties, great linebacking core, great defensive line, and then offensively, all we really need is 1 lineman and a good receiver. And that can be found in the draft. Offensive lineman in round 2, wide receiver in round 1. These things could definitely happen. Picking at number 21 overall, so if there's a good player at the top of the board that I have to move up for, would definitely consider it. Definitely would some great-looking quarterbacks. But we already have our QB of the future, even though these guys do look pretty good. Perry Staley's the guy. Great ability, amazing combine. This is the guy at wide receiver, for sure. Question is, how do we get him? Trading a 1 this year and next year, as well as a 2 next year to move up to number 6. I think it's going to be worth it. I think this receiver is going to be so good, and I just do not want to risk a team reaching down the board to get him. Now, it seems like we're like moving up a lot, but I don't trust the game. The first receiver just went off the board. I'm taking Perry Staley right now. He is a 75 overall. He's number 9. We took him number 6. I don't care. Hidden development is good. 95 speed. Pretty decent route running. Decent catching. I think he has a lot of potential to be a really good player for us in this first season for him. And I think that trade needed to happen. But of course, we still need offensive line. Good thing we have 2 quite good ones available. We can even take both of them. First one, Norman McKee. He might be our guy. Number 26 in the class, took him 53 star or better development, 72 overall. Good strength, run blocking, pass blocking, good everything. His run block finesse is terrible. He's not a finesse player at all. He's pure power. And that's fine. He's a good player. We'll have to see who ends up playing right tackle for us. And then in the 3rd round, we're going to go ahead and take Ezekiel McPherson. 71 overall normal development, ranked number 29 in the class. We took him at 85. He's not going to play. That's going to be the end of the draft, and we'll go into what should be the final season under a new QB for the first time since 2008. Was Aaron Rodgers' first year starting 2008? I know he wasn't 08 draft. Might have been 07. He was drafted in 05. When did Aaron Rodgers take over the starting job? 2008. So for the first time since 2008, the Packers will have a new quarterback. Wow. Interesting free agent options. I'm going to bring in Rojo just because we do need a backup running back and we have money. Now, we could have looked to like Darius Slayton if we wanted to. Doesn't even have more than normal development though, so I'm not really interested. AJ Green's got superstar X Factor. No real reason to bring him in, but it's interesting that he's there. Could bring in a good 4th cornerback. That's going to be Rashad Fenton. And then we do want to sign a kicker, and that is going to be Jameel Caver, rookie out of San Jose State. Go Spartans. This will be the look of the team. It could be terrible. I mean, it was obviously time to move on from Aaron Rodgers as he dipped to a 75 overall. Cutting him was a tough decision that had to be made to bring in some of these other talented players on the team. Defensive line looks good. Linebackers look good. Of course, the only real thing we did was improve the offense. McKee's going to play right tackle. We got Staley as our 3rd and slot receiver. He's also going to be returning kicks and punts for us. Should be pretty good, man. I have high hopes. I think this team's going to be quite solid. I'm going to get Rojo in there and move Staley back in a slot receiver. Special teams, defense. Anything else I want to change? No, I think that's it. So Staley back to receiver 3, and I will see you guys at the mid-season mark. 3 and 4 at the mid-season mark. What's changed? Oh, absolutely nothing. That's true. Same shit, different day. Same day. I'm recording this. It's the same day as a lot of other rebuilds. Our offense is terrible. How's our defense, though? Pretty good. Okay. What can we do to make the playoffs? Maybe say a quick prayer. That could do it. Oh, McKee has superstar development, and Staley has superstar development. I'll take it. Finally, we draft some superstars. That's awesome to see. Those are the first two of the entire rebuild. Otherwise, it's been star or normal. But I'll take it, man. Better late than never, I suppose. And what can we do? What can we do to win games? I'm not sure that Packers playbook is cutting it. I think we might want to go like something like Dallas. All right, so I did resign players. Darrell Williams, Rashawn Gary, Darnell Savage, Albert Okwe-Ibenam, and Jalen Reagor all are back. I might do it another season if we don't make the playoffs here. I might. We're in a fine situation for cap, getting rid of Aaron Rodgers. We're bringing back all of our good players, even though they're going to regress a little bit. It's very sad. But hopefully we make the playoffs. We don't have to worry about it. But we won't. Maybe. Maybe we'd be amazing, please. Like the longest sim ever. No, we didn't. We didn't. We finished 8-7-1. We were so close. I'm going to do one more season. We're a 90 overall. Like, our team's very good. Our team's very good. We'll check out the stats quickly. Very quick offseason. I don't have a first-round pick. Our offense got better down the stretch. I'm not even going to really bother with checking out stats too much. We saw the quarterback. That's all that matters. Jake Fromm wins Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Jadeveon Clowney, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Virgil Reed, Perry Staley at 2-0, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Reggie Spencer. The name sounds very familiar. Might be like from a Mr. Hurricane series a few years ago or something like that. But we're going to simulate to the offseason. Again, we brought back every player that really matters for us. I want to finish in the playoffs at least. So this will be the team before we head into the draft. The offensive line's good. Drafting a superstar development right guard that we moved to tackle was a good move for us. He might have been a left guard. Doesn't matter. Staley was a great pickup. We have 3 good receivers. Not a whole lot of depth going on. And then defensively, Bobby Wagner has regressed. That was a gamble. Knew that was going to happen. Denard could be an 85 overall. Strong safety. Cutting Adrian Amos would not matter. It'd be a huge penalty for no reason. But we could improve at third cornerback or edge rusher over Zadarius Smith. So, might move up in the draft, depending on what's there, of course. We don't have a lot of capital to move up, so it could be very, very difficult, but I'm going to at least check what's there. Okay, Carl Jennings looks pretty solid. Trading with the Cowboys again. A third, a first, and a second for a first from them next year. Just gives us the opportunity to take a player in the final year, and maybe someone that's going to help us out, depending on what's available at 14. There's a safety I like that definitely will not be available. Looked quite good. And who can we take to help out this team? Defensive tackle is quite good. We don't need them. I mean, these 2 defensive tackles are really good. It's just not a huge position in need for us. That's the thing. Could be able to take this receiver in the 4th, so we don't really have to worry about it. So what do we want? Do we want this receiver? Not really. I'm going to just take a backup running back in Ben Lamar. He's a 77 overall, ranked number 3 in the class. We took him at 14. Only normal development, but he's a good backup. That's what we traded up for. A running back. I know. Weird. All right. Trey Lindley available at a Michigan State in the 4th round. 72 overall, number 22 in the class. We took him at 113. Only normal development, but a good player. And he's exactly what we need. A good 4th receiver. We are set. That's the end of the draft, and this is the final season. We don't make the playoffs. It is what it is. Can't do anything about it at this point. The team's good. The team's great. So it's on Madden Sim, honestly, if we don't win. Carl Jennings was an 80. Oh, man. Pretty good player. Looks all right. The safety that I wanted was Demarius Parnell. Looked to be pretty good, but it doesn't really matter. We're an 88 overall. That's surely going to go up to 90 over the course of this season, I would guarantee. We've got great offensive line, good receiving core, good quarterback. He's up to an 85 overall. And then defensively, we are also quite solid. I almost feel like Adrian Amos could move to cornerback based on his high man coverage, and we could move back a cornerback to safety, where he's going to be an 85 overall, and that might be a better look for us because Amos can then play the nickel. We could have done that anyway, but then Denard can just be, and he's an 81 overall there, great. And then Denard can just be our starting strong safety, and he'll even go up to an 86, maybe an 87 at some point, 88 in this very season. So Jaquez Denard is going to move back to play strong safety. He's a really, really good overall there. That is certainly the move. We're definitely a higher team overall at that point. Let me see. Specialists, we could use a kicker. CP will sign one. Staley in the slot. Denard should not be. All right, now Amos moves there. Okay, now we are golden. Now we're perfect. Great defense. Bobby Wagner could be better, but he's got superstar X Factor. Shouldn't matter too much. Offense looks pretty good. We are ready to rock and roll. Mid-season mark, we are 3-5. I don't know what you want from me, man, at this point. Playoff time, I don't think we're going to make them based off our start, but you never know. We do not. 6-9, nice, and 1. 90 overall, 92 offense, 89 overall defense. I'll simulate to the Super Bowl just so we can see any potential development changes, just because that's always fun to review the final team in that way, as if there would be another season. But yeah, man, I don't know. We built a really, really good team. 90 overall is going to be the highest overall team in the league. 10 times out of 10, I guarantee you. No team really gets over an 86. I've seen like an 88 once maybe, but we are definitely the best team in the NFL, and we don't have a whole lot to show for it. But that is going to be the video. Staley up to an 84. If my camera's blocking that, I'm sorry. And then defensively, nobody really changed. Denard's up to an 87 overall. Griffith went up to superstar, actually. But that is the final squad. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.